today's pick a card reading. And now that the Christmas hubbub is behind us, and we have gotten our fill of beautiful food and lots of family time, and we're getting ready to celebrate a new year. So, what an opportunity to see what it is that the cards have to say about the lessons learned during this past year. Okay. So, let me just get myself organized, light up our Palo Santo to just bring that sense of unity to us. Good morning, Bina. I hope that you have been having a wonderful holiday season. I know our cultures are so different, and I wonder what celebrations are like for you in your side of the world. I had a lot of family time, and actually, I think I had probably the best Christmas I've had in many years. So I'm grateful for that. So as we watch this flame and we look how quickly flames can consume, we're just aware of how quick time is going. This just seems like a second ago. It was January 1st, 2024. And now there's been so many lessons, so many opportunities to press in and allow spirit to touch our lives as we move forward and want to create the very best version of ourselves in 2025. So, Palo Santo, thank you for the beautiful smoke. Let us allow our worries and our fears to rise with the smoke and open ourselves up to letting go of what we can let go of and holding on to what we're meant to hold as we move into the new year. So I've got a few decks. Archangel Michael is going to be our lead for the theme of what the lesson you've learned in 2024. And I have my light seers for clarity. And just for fun, I have a new deck I'm going to be using for an extra little bit of wisdom for 2025. You are awesome. And so if you would like to have a personal reading this morning, all you have to do is hit the super chat and I'm more than happy to draw cards for you personally. Meanwhile, we're just going to be drawing for the collective because, as I found through the time of using the cards for educating myself, that I collect people who vibe in my vibe, that understand the world in a similar way that I do. And that brings us together in kind of a very interesting family, doesn't it? So let's start off here. What is Archangel? What's the first lesson? What does Archangel Michael wish for us to have compassion, self understanding? What lessons have we learned? And Archangel Michael message for us is joy. The way forward is open. You're not trapped. Possibilities and opportunities abound. I will guide you to personal and spiritual freedom. So, already, what a powerful message to get started. I'm going to make sure you guys can see. So, it looks like our first message today is for people who have felt a bit trapped or a little bit like they can't do what they want to do, that there's something in their lives that's holding them back. And Archangel Michael is saying, no, 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 don't be deceived by appearances because you have, oops, I have smoke on my hands, soot from the Los Santo. Yes, what is it that Archangel Michael wants us to take to the next year? And what is it that we should be leaving behind? Okay, so here are our three cards. Could the tower threw itself out? And the tower is a card of a turmoil. And could be that circumstances have had you feeling like you were trapped. So let's see here. So the first idea that strikes me here is that there are people who watch who have been in relationships that have not been satisfactory, that there has been a situation where you're committed to someone who is not equally committed to you. And your family may have been chirping at you throughout last year that, why are you with that person? They're not treating you right. This card here, the Six of Pentacles, this is the card of breadcrumbing, where somebody is pretending they're committed to you, like you are here. This is where you can find joy. This is for you. And yet, there's not a true commitment. And it feels like you're walking in somebody else's shoes. So, this relationship that you have been in for too long is stale and it's really wearing you out. Okay. You have learned as much as you can. There's a part of you that knows the truth of what I'm speaking, that you have been connected to somebody for a while now, and it's not good for you. This crow that is, if you look at this card, you can see the crow is just howling. Ow, 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 the part of your mind that has been allowing yourself to live way under your full potential. And your gut, your intuition has been really hollering at you to wake up and move on. This tower moment is a blessing because now that 2025 is approaching, we have these things called New Year's resolutions. And what these cards are holding for you, my friend, is the promise that as you release this relationship that is not serving you, you will open a door to way more benefit than you can possibly know. Archangel Michael is promising that as you walk away from this situation that's not working, there is plenty of opportunity ahead. Okay. Archangel Michael wants to guide us and lead us, and all we need to do is ask. And Archangel Michael is right here, right now. So it's a kind of a heavy message as we start off the readings this morning, but it is a time when oh, Midnight Crow. Oh, we haven't seen Midnight Crow for a long time, have we? I changed my name. I used to be Fish Out of Water Tarot, and some of my people have been wandering around the internet trying to find me because I really want us to break our patterns that are holding us back. But as we look at this, though, let's draw from the You Are Possum deck for our added tongue-in-cheek blessing for the new year. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at the card that comes out. Disconnect to reconnect. That's exactly the energy I'm feeling here. Let's see what it says. While technology connects us, it can also lead to anxiety. Turn off your phone once in a while. Disconnecting for a few hours can provide a beneficial mental reset and enhance clarity. So, what I'm seeing here is that this might be an internet relationship here. This could be a relationship where you haven't even met the person, but you've connected with them deeply through chat. And so, if this is you, do not be afraid of putting this behind you. Archangel Michael is here cheering for you and wanting you to have something better for yourself when it comes to your relationships in 2025. Okay, moving forward, if you would like to have me draw cards for you personally, all you have to do is hit the super chat and I will draw for you. Meanwhile, these are messages for the collective. What lessons were learned in 2024 and what is the guidance for 2025? Let's see. Open your heart. No one is perfect. Stop judging yourself and others and let love heal this situation. What is the situation, Archangel Michael? What exactly are you talking about? Let's take a look. Take a breath and let your mind wander around. Where is perfectionism getting in the way for you? Where is the fear of making a mistake? Are you hard on yourself? Let's see. It's for clarity cards here. And we have 10 of Wands. Yes, there's a lot of burden here. You've been carrying a burden throughout 2024, and I'm sensing that self-judgment, self-criticism has been part of your walk through 2024. And this is your heart. Oopsie, sorry. The heart to be free and to really enjoy the future. The 10 of Wands and the Page of Wands right next to one another. It's infrequent that cards come out in order like that. There's 78 cards in the deck. And what are the odds that these two come in a row for you, my friend? And then we have the Emperor. Okay, so here are your marching orders from Archangel Michael. It is time to lay your burden down. This is a time between now and January 1st in this New Year's season to really analyze yourself. Have you been hard on yourself? Do you have a fear of making mistakes? It's as if you're carrying the burdens of the world. And in reality, what is your burden to carry is lightweight. We are encouraged to lay our burdens down. The angels are our guides, they have our back. And Archangel Michael wants nothing more than to feel that you are lighthearted and anticipating growth and progress and promises as this new year comes about. Remember, it's all about energy and it is not about the gender that you see on these cards. The interesting thing about this card is this young woman has come down this long path and is now getting ready to make a turn. There's a part of you that aches for freedom. Isn't that the truth? And there's a part of you that feels almost disloyal, that if you put down your worry about what's wrong and right, that somehow it's a mistake in itself. And what a trap that negative self talk can be. An affirmation that may help you as you process what you learned in 2024 is this: even though I don't know how, I'm releasing my need to be perfect right now. Even though I don't know how, I accept that life is imperfect right now. Even though I don't know how, I choose to stop judging myself right now. The Emperor energy is here to support you in being the emperor of your own life. I love how he is holding a chess piece in his hand with that knowledge that life is a game and your attitude about your path changes the scope of your game. So, as you approach 2025, my dear friend, allow yourself to be honest about self judgment and perfectionism. Allow yourself to put down any burdens that you're aware of that are causing you to have worry and anxiety. Remember that your family can take care of themselves, your children are on their own path. You cannot control other people, but you can control what it is you are thinking about. Okay. So as you look back at 2024, and you look at how many times you might have tried to finagle and help people because you want to help people. Notice that you are knocking on a door continually. Your message from Archangel Michael is to let others go. Stop judging yourself so harshly, and you will have so much peace of mind going forward. Okay. So let me look at my pause. You are awesome deck for your tongue in cheek advice here. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for visiting. This is Catherine, and this is Pattern Breaker Tarot. All excited about breaking the patterns that are stepping out. are stepping out and showing themselves, because as we release ourselves from the unhealthy patterns we function in, life truly opens up. And here we have simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. And the message is take a moment today to appreciate the simple things, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of birds chirping, the rustling of leaves. Savor moments, ordinary moments, for they are the threads that weave together the tapestry of a fulfilling life. This is such a great message for you, my friend, because as you have carried this worry and concern and demandingness through 2024, it's really drained your energy. It would be best for you to spend more time outdoors and just practice being grateful for the abundance that we see in nature and allow that to soothe your soul. Okay. And the last piece, of course, is do ask Archangel Michael for his help. He will swing in rapid form as you allow yourself to ask. I was once taught years ago that the angels don't barge in, they wait for our invitation. Okay, so moving forward, if you're here for the first time today, welcome. I'm Catherine. This is Pattern Breaker Tarot, and we are all about helping each other find the patterns that are holding us in place and separating us from the highest and best version of ourselves. Moving forward, let's see what other lessons have been learned in 2024. Stay the course. I really love this art here because I love how Archangel Michael is just holding up his hands and just so free and not any worry here on the art, right? So let's see, stay the course. Don't panic. You're not on the wrong path. You're just having a bumpy start. Learn from your experiences and keep going. Okay, so what a cool message as we approach the end of 2024. It looks to me like some of you or somebody listening right now has been working on a project for the whole year. You have been determined, dedicated. You've been waiting and watching and working, bringing something together, and it has not gone as fast as you were hoping. And it's been hard. And part of you thinks, "Oh, should you stop? Should you give it up?" And Archangel Michael is here to say, no, do not give up on what you have been building. There are things going on behind the scenes that you cannot see clearly. And that's where, if you are a person that loves the angels as much as I do, and they rarely appear in physical form. Often we will find feathers or dragonflies will fly by, butterflies, seeing sparks of life in nature that remind us that the angels are around us all the time, whether we are conscious of them or not. With this healing, the star card here, part of your slow progress, because you have been making slow, steady progress. But notice this Knight of Pentacles is not riding on his horse, and all of the rest of the the knights. Like the knight in shining armor, they're on their horse and they're bringing offers, and they are all about action. But the Knight of Pentacles is a very cautious energy. Notice that he's not wearing shoes, it's just very casual. And I think this has been difficult for you, and perhaps even difficult financially because you need for things to develop. But there's things going on that could very likely be telling stories about your childhood and how you grew up. There's something being played out here with the slowness of the progress and this slow, steady healing that you have been receiving from being betrayed and disappointed in the past. You've had to sift and sort and maybe even detach from some people that were not really team players for you, and building this team around you who has shares your vision and really wants to continue to build. This is really good energy for you right now. When it says don't panic, what that's suggesting to me is that you've learned a lot about being patient in 2024. One of your big lessons. I heard once somebody said, if you be careful if you pray to develop patience, because you will have a lot of opportunities to practice the patience. I'm alert here to these birds that are flying off into the distance. Those birds are like scouts, and they're going out looking for the opportunities that are going to really pull you forward in 2025. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. What I would suggest for you is to do a little bit of journaling right now and just interview yourself. Interview yourself. Self, what is it that's been the most frustrating for you in this past year? If you want, you could go through month to month and just review in your own mind in January last year what was going on in February with an idea or two so that you can see how, even though you are a bit of a worrier, and even though you weren't sure and you're kind of trying to trust your gut, you have made tremendous progress and you really understand better today than you did last year at this time on the value of a good team and the value of taking your time and the value of allowing healing to to allow your endeavor, what it is you're trying to build, may it be anchored in healing. Okay. How you talk to yourself is so important. So, a couple of affirmations for you to try would be, even though I don't know how, I'm feeling ever more courageous right now. Even though I don't know how, I'm feeling more relaxed right now. Even though I don't know how, I'm trusting the angels to guide me right now. Okay, so let's take a look at our You Are Possum deck for a wee bit of advice from these little cats before we move on. Okay, my goodness, look at that picture. Life is enough. Life is tough. Funny, I said life is enough. Life is tough, but so am I. Obstacles are not roadblocks, they're launch pads. Every challenge conquered is a testament to your inner strength and a stepping stone to extraordinary achievements. Amen. You are on the edge of a major surprise and development with what it is you've been building. Stay the course, leave the worries and concerns in 2024. Walk forward knowing that you're supported with your idea. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for visiting me today. I'm grateful for that, window shoppers. I'm Catherine. This is Pattern Breaker Tarot, and we are all about breaking patterns that are causing us to feel separate from who we really are. If you're enjoying the readings, please do hit the like. I appreciate that. And I also invite you to click subscribe so that you'll be notified when I go live. Okay, let's take a look at our next reading. What is the lesson? Interesting. Archangel Michael is kind of picking up on a theme with the cards today about dealing with our fears and our beliefs. So this is Have No Fear, number 14. You might want to Google the spiritual meaning of number 14 to add depth to this reading for yourself. Have no fear. Fear is a trap of the ego. Allow me to use my sword of light to free you from the disquieting feelings holding you back. Now, if you were here and just listened to our previous reading, when we were the card that came up was stay the course, don't panic. So this is a double message for you because fear is something that's real. And so my first comment, I have a client that I dearly love, and we were talking the other day, and she was saying how she can't wait till she just gets rid of fear. That once fear is gone, that she's sure that her life will improve. And I said to her, hang on a second, where did you get the idea that you could get rid of fear or have it disappear? Because fear is an energy that can be turned off and on. So the message have no fear means to make that choice to eliminate fear. Let's talk about it. Fear is a trap of the ego. Allow me to use my sword of light to free you from the disquieting feelings. When we look at the art, we see shadow and light, right? Shadow and light. What's the opposite of fear in your world? What do you think? For me, the word that pops up immediately is courage. If I could be fearful or I could be brave. Okay. So if you're aware of being afraid of something, you would be in a shadow, and the energy of courage would be turned off. The energy of fear would be turned on, and the energy of courage would be turned off. Think about faucets in the bathroom where you turn on hot and cold, and you find a temperature that works. When we're dealing with fear, it's much the same. Real life has a blend of fear and courage. And so our job is to recognize when the fear switch has been turned on. Okay, so let's look at the cards that just flipped themselves out of the deck. Okay, so very interesting. We had three major cards come out here. And so I think the universe is so gentle trying to get us this message on having no fear. The core of fear does rest in your heart of hearts. If you could go back in time, and if you could remember the very first time that a human being disappointed you, the very first time that something did not work out the way you hoped, if you were able to go back into time and just analyze your life as it is, you might have some real clues about where being nervous and anxious and fearful came from. Because the idea of holding judgment for others, but also of yourself, that somehow you were to blame for something that did not go right. I meet so many people who are trapped in this fear of making a mistake, fear of trusting the wrong person, fear of being embarrassed by a choice that's often born in their childhood. And my dear viewer, there's a part of you right now who's aching to be free of that kind of judgment. It's a self judgment. I should have known better, or blaming others. How could they have done that? And so, as you are going through this part of your life right now, you may be angry. You may be frustrated because of the behavior of others. And that may be causing you to draw that sword and keep everyone at bay. But what Archangel Michael is wanting for you to leave in 2024 is unreasonable reactions to people. The ego, that part of your personality that tells the stories about your hurt feelings, it's convinced you, it's tempted you to believe that you could control your happiness and you could control the quality of your life if you're careful enough. And that, my friend, truly is a trap. because our human nature, we're not the best at judging people in our human nature. But when we have compassion for the bigger themes of life and we understand that the people that hurt us when we were really young, they were all wrapped up in their drama, and nothing was meant to be hurtful or harmful to us. Okay. So 2024 has been a year of stretching for you. There have been many things that have happened and are still happening that turn fear on in your energy system. The temperance card is calling you into balance and calling you into a place where you can recognize, yes, there's good guys and bad guys here in the world, but you can't control them, but you can control your reaction. Reactionaryism, being a reactor, can really lock you into a prison of fear, fear of being hurt and fear of making a mistake. So, as you approach 2025, what can you leave behind? You might want to get a journal page and just do a list as best you can of all the things that happened this year that were not fair. Did you have any deals fall apart? Any breakups? Any disappointments? Have there been any deaths in your family? Just write them down and be willing to let go of your reaction to those things. As we come up to the new year, a lot of people enjoy doing New Year's rituals. And it would be a great part of a ritual for you to make that choice to release the things that happened last year that really you don't need to be carrying that burden anymore. And if you're feeling confused or it's just difficult for you to let go of the cycle of self protectionism, that's where you ask Archangel Michael for help. Even though I don't know how, I need the angels to help me now. Even though I don't know how, I expect myself to learn somehow. Even though I don't know how, I'm releasing my fear a little bit better right now. Be gentle with yourself. Okay, let's get our advice card. And we have the future depends on what you do today. Be proactive instead of passive. Don't let circumstances control you. Proactively create the life you want. The choice is yours to remain passive and let life happen, or apply a proactive mindset and actively shape your destiny. This is a great piece of advice. And I will tell you that as you go forward into a place of releasing yourself from fear, one of the best things you can do is to get outside and walk. Walking meditation. A walk in your neighborhood, leave your device off or at home, and just notice things. Your mind, your brain will be so much more content having a job to do. And so as you walk around outside and you look at nature and absorb yourself in what you see out there, it gives your brain a break from all of the worrying about things that you cannot control. Okay, all right, let's move forward. If you're just visiting me today, welcome. I am Catherine, and this is, I was going to say fish out of water tarot. I used to be fish out of water, but starting in 2025, we're breaking patterns. And so we're pattern breaker tarot. So I welcome you here. If you're enjoying the readings, please do hit the like and let me know. And it creates a wonderful energy circle where we can link up. And it does help me read the energy of the cards when you guys click that thumbs up and connect us. Okay. Your loved ones are safe. Beautiful. As I look at this female angel, and a lot of people don't think of Archangel Michael as anything less than a masculine energy. But I would say to you, I've never really done too much thinking about this, but the fact is that the angels, I would think, have equal access to both the divine feminine and divine masculine energy. And there are times when strong female feminine energy can accomplish more than a forceful masculine edged energy. And so, as I see this beautiful woman with the dark hair, the first thing it makes me think is that I want to say, if you're listening to me right now, I believe that there's a woman with dark hair who is either a part of your life right now or will be coming forward in the beginning of 2025 that's going to bring you an answer, something that you've been wanting to know for a long time. So just mark that down, would you? And so the message, your loved ones are safe. Let go of your fear and worry for your loved ones. I am looking after them. Okay, that makes sense because it's this maternal energy. So, what is it that you learned this year? Hmm. For the very first thing that I'm aware of, hi, Aristide. The first thing I'm sensing is that you really got called on this year to release something that was going on with somebody you loved, that you had a come to Jesus moment, so to speak, where you were like, look, it does not serve me to worry about my loved one. So this could be a child, an adult child of yours, or perhaps a sibling. But I do sense that there has been a relationship in 2024 that did demand you to let them go. You know about tough love, where sometimes we can get in the way of our person's healing because we just want to be involved. We want to give them that piece of advice because honestly, we do feel like we know something that would help them. So this could be something that was in the legal courts. It could be that perhaps you have an adult child who's going through a divorce, and that was excruciating for you. It could be that a good friend of yours has gotten tangled up on the wrong side of the law and that you have been very worried for their safety. It could be that there's someone you know who's living in a different country and they can't get home at the moment. They're stuck in process with paperwork, something going on with the justice system, I feel like has kind of stretched itself out through 2024. And you have been very worried and concerned. These two crows, can you imagine having a crow on each side of your head cawing? Do you know how loud? And their voices are very harsh. And so this reminds me of it's the way the Stoics believe that it's not the problem that's going on with your loved one. It is your thoughts about the people. It's your thoughts about your person. So Archangel Michael steps in to say, let go of your fear and worry. I am looking after them. Okay. So with this kind of energy going on, there's no doubt that it's draining you because you don't want to see them suffering in this system. But here we have the Hierophant card, which is this card of ascension. And I have adult children, and it's not easy sometimes to watch how they are living because you just want to be able to give them advice and say, look, if you do it this way, you're going to save yourself some time. Or if you do it that way, you're going to save yourself some money. But they don't want to hear it from you. And it's hard to realize that as they work their way out of their situation, the result is always personal growth. Anytime you go through a tough situation, you have the option of turning to spirituality yourself. So, my dear friend, I know that you love your people. You love your close family and friends, but it's important to let go of the desire to help them yourself. You cannot be the source to your loved ones. And they can feel energetically if you are over worrying about them. Okay. So let's just imagine, see this angel. Imagine that she lays down her sword. Just look at how beautiful the angel is. Imagine if her sword was laying down right now and she had her hands at her chest like this. This is what I believe Archangel Michael is calling you to be at the same peace of mind that the angels hold when there's something troubling. They don't get upset, they do what needs to be done. She's dressed in blue, which to me is the color of the throat chakra. You'll notice that the background is blue, my background is blue. It's time for you to speak the truth to yourself. The blue is the color of the throat chakra, and you're being called to be honest with yourself. Have you been trying to be source for your person? Or do you see that their issues right now are bringing them forward to their own ascension, where they recognize who they are spiritually and how strong they are? 2025 is going to be filled with blessings, my friend, and learning how to release these people that have troubled you and let it go. Let the message of 2024 clearly reach out to your depth of your being, trusting like you've never trusted before. The divine can take care of your loved ones. Okay, so let's see what your possum advice is, and it is you are enough just as you are. Now, what I notice is notice how this cat is holding its paws up to its chest in a thank you gesture, which is what I just did for y'all. So let's see what it says. Comparison is the thief of joy. Comparing apples to oranges pointless. Everyone is unique. Instead of focusing on how you measure up to others, focus on your growth and development. Don't compare yourself to them. Respect the difference that makes each person unique and make your life easier. Such a great piece of advice. Your loved ones right now are taking the long way around. You watch them and you know that there's an easier way, but you cannot live their life and you can't compare yourself. So allow yourself to release your people to their own path at the end of 2024 so that you are ready to see what it is that the universe has for you. Once you take your eyes off of those family members, you're going to have time to be more creative, more productive, and more curious about what God has for you versus looking out for other people all of the time. Okay, I take a sip of my water. Welcome, everyone. I'm Catherine. This is Pattern Breaker Tarot, and we are doing some readings today about what can we leave, what were the lessons that we learned in 2024. So I'm super happy that you're here today. If you're enjoying the readings, please hit the like button. And if you're not enjoying them, you can hit the thumbs down button because that tells me something too. Although I prefer thumbs up, but I love your responses and your comments. Okay, very interesting. So, what you learned in 2024. Archangel Uriel. So, we have a double blessing here. Archangel Uriel has blessed you with a brilliant epiphany this year. Archangel Michael speaks and says, I am also present to clear away your worries so you can trust your divine guidance. Okay. So, my friends, thank you for hitting that thumbs up. So, somebody viewing right now, you have really graduated, so to speak. You have completed a bit of your spiritual training and you have started trusting your intuition like never before. You may have had a dream that ended up coming true. You may have had a premonition that came through. Let's see, what else? You may have avoided a problem because you didn't go. Let's say you got an invitation to go somewhere, and you were just like, no, doesn't feel good to me. And then when you heard later, you're like, oh my gosh, I am so glad I didn't go. But there was at least one or two things that happened in 2024 that that if how can I say, confirmed. It was evidence that, oh my gosh, I know for sure I got guidance. Now, you guys know I love to do readings and I do private readings and all kinds of fun things if you want to work with me. But the bottom line is there's so many wonderful readers online, right? And those of you who are just stopping by for the first time, I just so welcome you. But you hear sometimes on a random reading, it feels like they're talking right to you. Isn't that true? By the way, my favorite reader is White Feather Tarot. She's always, I just always use my sign. I'm a Scorpio. So I go to the Scorpio reading whenever she posts because honestly, I just feel like she's talking to me personally. So as we're learning to watch other people interpret for us, we have this opportunity to learn our own guidance, right? So, again, this is another one where we have three majors. So, this shows me if you're watching me right now, we have two archangels showing up, Archangel Uriel and Archangel Michael. And there's just this affirmation that you are growing by leaps and bounds on your insides, that at the core level of your personality, at the cellular level of this human mechanism, there has been an anchoring of your guidance that you are really beginning to feel like, you know what, there's something to all this. I know that what I'm hearing is real. The hanged man, the high priestess, and the chariot. So I'm just looking at this high priestess first. The high priestess is the symbol of our God given intuition. And a lot of times in your growing up years, the people that took care of you, that your major caregivers, parents, grandparents, foster parents, adopted parents, the family you were born into had a ton of drama going on when you were born. I like to call it like you were born into somebody else's act three. Okay, so as an infant, that's your act one of your life. But the people, some of the people in your life, they were already in their act three, meaning all of their life disappointments, all of the ups and downs are playing out for them. And if they're not into personal development and they're not getting any sort of guidance or education or counseling, that they may be stuck in patterns that they have lived in for decades. And then here you come, and you're just a little tiny baby wanting to be loved and fulfilled. But all of the turmoil that you're born into creates confusion. And sometimes people tell me that they felt more like an adult in their childhood than the adults they were living with. You know what I mean? And so sometimes that makes you just pause. A lot of people don't trust their intuition because they had to do things anti their intuition. When you're 3 years old, you can't pack up your bag and leave home, right? And yet there could have been so much turmoil in your house when you were just a wee child that your intuition did not serve you because when you wanted to run away or hide from what was going on, it wasn't possible. So many times there's a part of our personality that's on hold, that we've just severed ourselves off. It's there in our consciousness, but it's not accessible. So there's been something going on in 2024 where you started to wake up and you're feeling like, hey, wait a second. I can learn differently. I don't have to keep responding and reacting the way I did 10 years ago. I can make some better choices for myself. The chariot, look at this chariot. The chariot, there has to be so much trust of the divine in this chariot energy. Notice how there are no reins on these horses and they're running full gallop. And the driver of the chariot, he doesn't look panicked. Not at all, because there's just this faith that this is advancing at exactly the right speed. This is a go card. So when I look at this, I feel like in 2024, you had some experiences you can't deny. There were some intuitive guidance that happened that really lit you up and made you start to believe in spirit. I love the sparkles on that sword and how it's ready, the scroll of knowledge that these two things, these two ahas that you had this last year have brought you out of this pause, out of the hanged man energy, and you're kind of hooking your wagon to a star here, where you want to ride along at a faster pace towards what it is that you're wanting. So, whether that's love or money or career, whatever it is that's your life area that you want support in, you are on the right path. Trust the guidance you're receiving. Be so grateful as you finish this year. Do some affirmations. Make a list of your gratitudes. How have you seen your intuition serve you this year? Think back to one or two things that went on. Times when you said no and surprised yourself. Times when you went to a certain random place and met somebody that you really love and enjoy. Try to remember a couple of strange occurrences this year where intuition proved itself to you. Okay, so let me get our advice for you. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Thank you so much for these peeks into what it is we learned in 2024. Okay, and our advice card, be good to yourself. Perfectly imperfect. Don't be your own harshest critic. Instead of berating yourself for your mistakes, practice self forgiveness and accept your imperfections. You are perfect in every crack and flaw. Yes, this is such a wonderful piece of advice going right through this because as you learn to lean into your intuition, you're still going to have mistakes and you're still going to have times when you'll second guess yourself, but once you see the evidence of your intuition showing up more and more, it'll be so much easier for you to release that. Okay, my friends? Excelente. Let's go forward here and see what else the cards have for us from Archangel Michael. What lessons did we learn in 2024 and what is the meaning for us going forward? Put your creative energy into action. And we have two archangels here on this card also. Archangel Gabriel joins me, Archangel Michael, to spark your creativity and help you communicate your vision and motivate you to create something beautiful. Okay, so in 2024, my friend, procrastination was grabbing you by the neck. Okay, you have felt guilty. You may have friends and family who are bugging you because you are talented. Are you a magician? Magician. Funny, I said that I was trying to say musician, but are you a magician, a musician, a street artist? Are you a busker? What is it? There's something that you've been wanting to do and you just haven't allowed it of yourself. You've kept yourself back. Okay, so Archangel Gabriel, this has to do with music. So if oh, there's a musician. Good. I'm glad. Thank you. Because I'm sensing that there's musicians here, and I'm a musician also. And I have a drum. I would love to get a ukulele because I feel like sometimes some of these desires that are calling to us. it's years before we get out to do what we were born to do. So let's see what our angels are here too. And we have the Four of Wands. Love this. Look at that, the energy of the dance with the tambourine. And it's just exactly the feeling of this, the instrument and the musical notes that we see there. So, yes, it is a time to get out there and celebrate your gifts. And we have, the Seven of Cups. Interesting. Okay. And our last card, we have the King of Swords. Okay, so so we're talking to people who, what is the lesson that we can learn from 2024? Okay, so in the past, there you were feeling more free that when it comes to your gift, and I'm sensing the arts here, music, the visual arts, writing, anything that has an artistic piece, but is also there's a linear nature to it, like the organization, being able to create the marketing, for example, for what it is that you're going to do. But there's definitely energy that has been held back, fear of failure, fear of stepping out, self sabotage. I feel like that is your lesson. What can you leave behind in 2024? A part of you longs for the freedom of your gift. This could be something that when you did it as a child, it didn't even feel like work. It didn't feel like anything to be embarrassed about. It was just natural for this gift to flow in you. Again, aware of the tambourine here and the whole idea of music. And not only for you, music brings healing to you, but how music flows through you brings freedom to others. So here we have this interesting Seven of Cups, and look at the indecision, right? The indecision, so many choices. So when you were younger, maybe there was no need to have a lot of choices. Nobody was putting pressure on you, and you got to pick and choose your own way. But then life gets involved. You have family, you have career, you have responsibilities, people are asking you to do things, and it seems like by time you look at all your options, a whole day goes by with no action. All right. So as you are coming to the end of 2024, what can you do to get rid of the indecision? Can you leave it in 2024? I believe you've learned the pain of it, the frustration of not being able to see your dream come true, that it is troublesome for you. And the King of Swords is here calling you to be stronger. It's like have a backbone, that you sit up straight and recognize that you are an underachiever right now, that your gift is unused, undeveloped, it's like raw, right? And it's so demanding expression, so much energy here. And so the King of Swords is that energy of let's get it done. Let's get organized. Let's move forward. In a way, I guess you could call it like your spiritual GPS, right? Where you're allowing a part of yourself to step into this time of confusion and say, no, I know I have so many choices, but it doesn't do me any good to keep cycling around and around trying to make the perfect choice. Pick two or three things that you want to develop in the first quarter of 2025. Okay. The first 3 months, two or three action steps that have to do with your gift. Commit yourself to them because it's time. You know that when you don't use your gifts, what happens is they get stalled. They like go into dormancy. They can go to sleep. So your key is look to your past. What did you love to do when you were a child? Some of what you love to do as a child is what will come forward for you. when you take these steps to put your creative energy into action. Okay. There is joy waiting for you. Don't talk yourself out of it. Allow yourself to leave behind the stalling that you have been doing and step out and put some action into your dreams. Okay. So let's see what our advice is. Thank you, Ermi. I'm so glad. I'm so glad because creativity, we do have a creator. So when we're creative, we're doing active energy of kinship with the creator, and it's very healing. Okay, so let's get our advice here. I'm just going to take the top card. Learn and grow. We are all works in progress. Personal growth is not a mountain to summit, but a vast landscape to explore. Every step, a lesson learned, every experience, a chance to blossom. What a beautiful message, my friend. Don't be perfectionistic. Allow yourself to step out with baby steps. One way that I recommend for people to do this is with coloring. And there's so many beautiful coloring books that are available to you. And grabbing a coloring book and just coloring can be a wonderful way to leap into creativity. Okay, Ermi, I hope you're a subscriber. If not, please do join the channel and then come back and let me know how you're doing. I'm on live maybe 3 times a week. I like not having a set schedule. And I like kind of floating with spirit on when I do my lives, but I am trying to do at least 3 a week. And so we'll see if that continues as 2025 goes forward. So let's draw one more card here. What is another lesson that we learned in 2024? You're welcome, Ermi. Big hug to you. Step into the spotlight. Ooh, I love this energy. This is kind of connected to the last card as far as just not letting self doubt and procrastination and self sabotage get in your way. So step into the spotlight. You have a message that the world needs to hear. It's time to share your wisdom. So I feel like for some of you that 2024, you were in your own spotlight, you and the divine, that you were together like in a cocoon, that you've been in a cocoon of light as you've developed your skills and talents, that you may be a tarot reader like me, and you may be thinking, oh gosh, I would love to read cards. I would love to read cards like Catherine does. Look at how she's doing. Well, I have over 2,500 readings right now, which amazes me. But when I started, it was Christmas Day of 2021. I did my very first reading, and I really didn't know what I was doing. I watched what other people do, and I thought, oh, I like what they do. I'll do this and that and the other thing. But it's not easy to step out into the spotlight because you're never perfect enough, right? And there's always going to be mistakes. Ermi, if you want, you can email me and I'd be happy to guide you. I can give you some resources so you can learn about how to be a tarot reader. So here is my email address. And I know Bina will also put it into the stream. I am more than happy to give you some resources. Okay. All righty, let's see here. So here we want to step out of that energetic cocoon and step into the spotlight. So this is especially good for anyone who is shy. Now, the nice thing is for me personally with the shyness message is because I really like my privacy and I like that my voice is my ambassador to the world and I don't put my face into my readings just because it's a choice that I have made in the past to just let my voice carry the message and the cards. And so when I discovered that with tarot, I could step into the spotlight and still maintain my privacy, I was over the moon and I was really ready to step out into the spotlight of what YouTube can bring to me. So from my own experience, I can tell you that there's If you feel curious and called to share your gifts, it's a call. And learning to listen and follow your heart with this really does help. Because, Ermi, if you have the heart to do this, there are people in your world who speak your language who would be inspired by you. I have no doubt. So let's take a look here. First, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Hi, Nick. Welcome. If you want a personal reading, you just have to hit the super chat, and I'm happy to draw cards for you. Okay. Otherwise, their readings are for the collective right now. But take a peek. Are you somebody who is shy about stepping into the spotlight? The Ace of Pentacles is a fantastic card for any kind of new beginning, where you're like, okay, I'm ready. There's something within me that I know I'm here on the planet to do. I'm kind of jealous about other people and what they're doing, and I wish so much that I had the courage. I wish I could do it. But there's a part of you that's put yourself into pause. It's like, no, maybe not. I'm not ready yet. I'll be ready next month. No, I'm not ready yet. I need 3 more lessons. No, I'm not ready yet. I don't have the right kind of equipment. And I can tell you, I've done everything on my phone. I don't have a special camera. I created a tripod that's jerry rigged into place with duct tape. And even though I've been doing this for 3 years now, the fact is that you don't need to let a lack of equipment hold you back. Trust me. But there's a part of you that wants to wait. So it's like a battle because a part of you wants to grow and really senses there's something important here that you can do. And there's another part of you says, no, no, not yet, not yet. And here we have this Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles is a sign of growth, effort, and perseverance. Yes, you have a lot of life experience and you have your past experiences that have prepared you to step into the spotlight. You may not feel it because maybe it hasn't been formal training, but you have a depth of experience that can inspire and encourage other people. As she is focused on that candle flame, she's meditating. She's distracting herself from worry. However, she needs to be ready to take that action and to step out, to leave her desk, put the candle down, sit up away from her desk, and walk around it into the spotlight. Trust that your life experiences have equipped you to help the people you're called to help. Archangel Michael is here to hold your hand. You might want to grab a journal, and in the journal, write down, here are the reasons I want to step into the spotlight, and be honest with yourself. Don't be afraid of it. You have a gift, you have charisma, and it's time. And then write down where you need the angels to help you. I need Archangel Michael to help me step out into the spotlight because, and write that stuff down. Help yourself leave in 2024, leave behind you the self sabotage your habits that you have that are keeping you from moving forward. If you want to speak to me personally about this, Bina just added something to the stream about the free love magnet reading. If you're a person who would like to have more clients, more relationships, more friendships, more money, all of it is connected to self love and how much self love you are radiating. I do free love magnet readings for free because they're so fun and I love meeting you guys. It's 15, 20 minutes on the phone, and we can really get you straightened out. What is it that you're wanting and why is it so slow in coming? Okay, so let's grab my advice card here. And we have, you are stronger than you think. Feeling lost and alone? It's easy to believe that you're not strong enough to handle whatever life throws your way in the spotlight. But remember, you've been through tough times before and you always come out stronger. True, right? No matter what, you always come out stronger. on the other end of any challenge. So please do a favor for the universe and get your cute patoot out into the spotlight. There's something in you waiting to be born in 2025. So leave all that self sabotage behind. Okay, my friends, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I so appreciate you. As we walk forward towards this new year, let's grasp our dreams and take them forward with us. And we want to leave our fears behind in 2024. Hey, Blue Mama, welcome. I am all in blue today, so I hope you enjoy. I will have timestamps placed onto this reading very soon. I invite you to come back and listen to them again. And I look forward, if you would like to, how to get a love magnet reading, Magnificent Bina, will you put in my scheduling link? And Nick, when you see the scheduling link, all you do is click and it'll take you to my calendar and you can book yourself a spot in my calendar right now. Okay, there it is. Thank you, Bina. Love you, girl. Well, love y'all, and we'll see you at the next reading. Bye now.